नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवता सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणम् कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let's all bow down to our founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And our Shiksha Guru Suranath Prabhu, and start this session. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Does anybody remember where we left off yesterday?
Dissatisfaction of Vasa.
Very nice. Yes, we left off at the dissatisfaction of our Vyasadev, right? He was, after writing the Vedas, the 5 Vedas, and the Itihasa, Purana, and everything was consolidated into a 5th Veda, and he was dissatisfied even after that, right? He was not happy with what he had written, and that is when his guru comes. Who was his guru? Does anybody remember?
Narad Muni.
Yes. Narad Muni comes there and he pays obeisances. That is where we had left off. One second. Okay. So, our Vyasadeva, so the reason we are talking about this, why Vyasadeva is disappointed and all these things are because Shaunakadi Rishis asked 4 questions to Sutta Goswami. One of the questions was about the background of the Bhagavatam and about Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. The reason why Sukadev Goswami, being a transcendentalist, how did he, being a monist, right? Being a Brahmavadi, how did he come into bhakti? That was one of the questions. And the other question was Parikshit Maharaj, even though he was in such opulence, how was he able to give up in a fraction of a second, right? And then finally, about Bhagavatam, why did, what inspired, right, Vyasadeva to write Bhagavatam? Like Vidya Mathaji said, he was disappointed. He was not satisfied. After writing the Vedas, he was not satisfied. And in that satisfaction, he is contemplating, right? At that time, his guru comes to the scene. Narad Muni comes there, and we will see from there. Chapter 5, Narada's instruction on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is the inspiration for Bhagavatam. And this knowledge of Bhagavatam was given through paramparic disciplinic succession from Krishna himself to Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaye Adikavaye. That's the shloka which gives us the reference that Brahma received this knowledge from Krishna himself, and from Krishna it went to his own son Narad Muni. And from Narad Muni, this is the point we are at, where we are understanding how Narad Muni inspired Vyasadeva to write Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay. So the contents of the chapter. The first 7 shlokas talks about the despondency. That means why he was disappointed. Why was Vyasadeva disappointed? Then shloka 22 is a turning point where Narad Muni diagnoses why that disappointment happened. And then Narad Muni inspires Vyasadeva through his own life story, through his own previous life, how he came into bhakti. He's inspiring him with that. And then finally, he summarizes that. He just does not give the history of his life, but also summarizes to say, this is the advice, the instructions, Narad Muni's instructions to Vyasadeva. That is the starting point of Bhagavatam. That instruction was like the key for Vyasadeva to write Bhagavatam. Okay. So first we will see the despondency or dissatisfaction of Vyasadeva. Sutta Goswami says, Narad Muni, after taking his seat, asks Vyasadeva about his despondency. Qualifications of Vyasadeva. Why he is asking, Narad Muni is asking Vyasadeva, why are you disappointed? You are actually a great, devotee. You are actually the son of Parasara Muni. Parasara Muni, he is known for his power of resilience. What is power of resilience? Whatever may happen, he will not get withered by that. He will not get agitated by that. That was a quality of Parasar Muni, and you're the son of such a father. I mean, you have a heritage of such a father who was so resilient against all the material miseries and the turmoils of life. He stood against those things. He never got agitated with that. So you being his son should not feel any dissatisfaction. And you should not, especially that shloka 1.5.2, I have marked it. Why I have marked it is because it talks about why are you in the concept of the mind and the body. You should not recognize yourself as a body. See, this disappointment, dissatisfaction, everything falls in place when we start identifying ourselves with the body and mind. That is when, see, mind is a root cause for dissatisfaction. Otherwise, we are all very happy. We are all Satchitananda like Krishna only. But because the mind is telling us, Are, you don't have this car. Are, you don't have this sari. Are, you don't have this relationship. Are, you don't have this finance. The mind is constantly feeding. Right? It is feeding into you, saying that the cause for dissatisfaction, it is provoking you to be dissatisfied. And that's why he is warning him against it, saying that your father, he has a great heritage of being the power of resilience. Then why are you identifying with the mind and why are you dissatisfied? Was his question. And he gives three different qualifications of Vyasadeva because of which he should not be dissatisfied. So the lesson for us, right? When Bhagavatam is not just the devotees, how they feel and everything, we understand that and that is it. No, we should take lessons from that. When we are dissatisfied, you have to start conversation with your mind. Don't think you'll be a crazy person if you do that, because you have to use the power of intelligence from the scriptures to shut down that mind. With all these things, it'll keep coming, right? You should shut down the mind. Only if you make your intelligence strong, you can shut down the mind. Otherwise, the mind is going to take control. You want to be able to control the mind through your intelligence, buddhi, and bhakti yoga. Through bhakti intelligence, you have to cut it down. So here there are three things he says why you shouldn't think in the bodily concept. The first one is a power of resilience, because you have such a heritage. Your father is that, he is a great muni. What is a muni? There is many definitions of a muni. One of the definition of a muni is actually a thinker, a contemplator. He thinks about philosophy and he is very good in philosophy, right? And the first step in philosophy is that we should not think we are the body. And that's why he is saying your father is that. And Muni also says, who does not talk, maunam. One who takes on maunam is a Muni, right? He does not unnecessarily talk. He only talks Krishna Katha. That person is a Muni. So here he is saying you have such a great heritage. And the second thing he says, you are well versed with the scriptures, right? If a person is well versed with the scriptures, what happens? Sometimes we keep saying in our parampara that read, Swadhyaya is important, read. Why is it to show off in front of others that you know the shlokas and the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? No, it is to apply in your life. The more you read, when situations encounter, it will come and stand up in front of you. If you don't read, you will be bewildered, you'll be confused. So you don't want to be confused and take wrong decisions which will affect your spiritual life. We are more concerned about our spiritual life and not getting into that karma bandhana. And that's why Buddhi Yoga should be used. And that's why he says you're well versed with the scriptures. A person who is well versed with the scriptures should not be dissatisfied. And as soon as that dissatisfaction comes, you should shut it down with all the vidya you have, he is saying. Then Brahman realized and liberated being. Once you have that Brahman realization, you cannot be dissatisfied. The little bit of understanding of Krishna, little bit of realization of Krishna will, take you away from that miseries and turmoil and dissatisfaction and everything in your life. That is enough. A drop of bliss from Krishna and Brahman realization is enough for many lives to come. It's not the money that you earn, it's not the relationship, it's not the intelligence, material intelligence you have, it is not the status you have, it is not the society where you stand. None of this will give you satisfaction. Actually, all of this will give you bhaya, because you have to maintain that. If you don't maintain that, you are scared that people will not respect you, people will not give you that ego stroke. But when it comes to Brahman realization, the minute you have a small percentage of Brahma, even one drop of Brahman realization, you don't care for anything, because that is enough. That is enough in your heart. So he's saying, you who has a Brahman realization, how come you are dissatisfied? How is it? It is not, it is not worthy of you to be dissatisfied. So he is giving the qualification, saying that all these things will tell that he should not be dissatisfied. And then Narad Muni's qualification he talks about. Suta Goswami is giving all these details. Suta Goswami says, Narad Muni, why he is the true spiritual master who can ward away all the problems and miseries of the disciples' life. See, sometimes when we go to a guru, we don't understand. That is another problem. We think of our spiritual master as small. We shouldn't. It is very hard, but once we have that experience, only we'll understand. We should understand it is none other than Krishna only. Will you think of Krishna as small? No. Then how can you think of your spiritual master as small? This is the qualification. Why Narad Muni is the correct candidate to ward off that dissatisfaction, we are going to understand. He is first of all Brahma's son. Brahma's son means he has a very powerful lineage. Why? Who is Brahma? Brahma has lot of qualities like Krishna. Krishna has empowered somebody, means there is something in that person. We don't recognize that. If Krishna says this person is great and he empowers, we should understand that person is simply great. Not because Krishna has empowered. One is Krishna, not because of Krishna's Shakti alone in them, but because they have that characteristics. They have those attributes of being humble, being very, very dedicated, determined in Krishna consciousness, right? And very merciful. If you look at Prahlad Maharaj, the example of Prahlad Maharaj, even though he came as a 5-year-old boy, he had lot of qualifications to be a pure devotee. It is very hard, and it is coming from many janmas. It is not just one janma. We can purify ourselves, we can become pure devotee. If we understand the concepts very clearly, then we will understand the reach is very high, being a pure devotee, right? It is, you put them in any situation, it is like a sponge. When you press the sponge, if you put it in water, if you press the sponge, what happens? Water only comes out. If you put it in honey and you press the sponge, what comes out? Only honey comes out. In the same way, people like Prahlad Maharaj, put them in the worst of the situation, only nectar will come out. How you behave, how you react is understood when you are put in a bad situation. When everything is going well, everybody can be well only. But when you go through that suffering, how do you take care of that? That is important. And that's why Narad Muni's qualification and Brahma is a very great devotee of Krishna. He's been empowered to do so many things. He's almost like Krishna only, right? And you have such a great lineage. And Krishna himself In the heart of Brahma, he gave Vedas. So Brahma's lineage is great. All of us are also great in a way because we are all coming from Brahma only, right? So all of us should be proud of ourselves because that lineage we have, not because of our ability, but because of the lineage through which we come. And then he has unlimited knowledge. Narad Muni is empowered with unlimited knowledge. The greatest thing is the Shakti avatar, Shaktiavesh avatar of the Lord. He's been empowered by the Lord with Bhakti Yoga. He is, if you press this sponge, Narad Muni's sponge, if you press, only Bhakti will come out. Any angle you look at it, only Bhakti will come out. Okay. This example is very beautiful in the Bhagavatam. See, if you look at the sunlight, right, it is the same everywhere. It is shining everywhere. Even in the darkest thick forest, there is some holes through which the sunlight will come. And it is a witness. Sunlight is like a witness because it sees everything. It knows everything. In the same way, Narad Muni is compared to sunlight here because he knows everything. It is same as Krishna, Prabhupada writes in the purport, because Krishna is also omnipresent and omniscient. He knows everything, right? He is Sakshi. He is actually Sakshi for everything. We think sometimes in our heart we have a lot of conversation and lot of malice against other people. We think nobody knows that, but Krishna knows that because he knows the heart also. In the same way here, Narad Muni is compared, that one quality of Narad Muni is compared to the Krishna's quality where he knows everything. Everything under the sun he knows. And where is the praman for Krishna knowing everything? In Bhagavatam Canto 6, there is a reference that Krishna has CCTVs everywhere. The sun is one of his CCTV. The cloud is a CCTV. The wind is a CCTV. There is a recording being happening. Even Yamaraj has CCTVs everywhere to record all our activities, right? In the same way, Krishna has his potencies everywhere. They all are recording every activity, and that's how Krishna is able to know what we are doing, what we are thinking. In the same way, Narad Muni knows everything. He is everywhere and he knows everything. That is what this means. Although Vyasadeva knew all the Shastras, rules and regulations, wrote the Vedas, he should be satisfied. But he was very unsatisfied, since Narad Muni witness of everyone's intelligence. So here Narad Muni, when I say he is a witness of intelligence. This is a very, very important point. Why am I saying that? See, if somebody knows your intelligence, they will know how to motivate you. That is why Narad Muni is a very expert motivator for people to get into bhakti. He knows how to motivate Dhruv Maharaj. He knows how to motivate Prahlad Maharaj. He knows how to motivate, Vyasadeva to write Bhagavatam. Right? He knows what kind of punishment should be given to Nalakuvera. Right? Every episode you see, he knows how to handle people because he knows their intelligence. When you know your opponent's intelligence, it is very easy to win. But if you go just by your own intelligence, you won't know what their next move is and how. On the spur you have to prepare. But here Narad Muni knows, if I say this person is going to say this, so I can say this. So he's come prepared. He knows everything. This is very, very important, because this is one of the qualities our Srila Prabhupada also had. He knew how to answer each same question being asked by 5 different people. Prabhupada gave 5 different answers, and all 5 of them were satisfied, because each person is looking for something in the answer. We may have a stereotype answer for everybody, but Prabhupada did not have that. He actually knew how to answer to people, and that motivated people. That is what Narad Muni is also. He knows their intelligence, and that's why he is able to motivate them to bhakti. Bringing people into Krishna consciousness, you should know how to handle, how to answer them also. That is what is written here. All the knowledge of this world is related to body and mind, is material, can never give us this complete satisfaction and bliss. He's talking about 1.5.2, where he is saying, all the knowledge, all the opulence of this world will not give us satisfaction. It is very difficult to find satisfaction in this world. 3 steps to success. Admit our dissatisfaction. See, even to come into bhakti, right? It is very difficult, very, very difficult. Not everybody takes up bhakti. First of all, we have to admit that we are dissatisfied, right? Admit our failure to solve cause of dissatisfaction by indulging in sense gratification. The more we indulge in sense gratification, the more dissatisfied we are. We are never happy. That is when you have to take a shelter of one who is satisfied. If you keep failing, some exam over and over again, there is something wrong in the way you are preparing. You have to admit that you can't pass this exam without help. That is when you go to coaching classes, you get some guidance from a person who has actually passed the exam. They will tell you the tips and tricks. In the same way, here, he has to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And who is the lotus feet of the Lord? It is a bona fide spiritual master. Always we keep saying saying that take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Who is staying in the lotus feet of the Lord? All the devotees of the Lord. And that's why we have to take shelter of the devotees, right? And Narad Muni's inquiry: are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as the object of self-realization? There is no doubt that you have prepared a great and a wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences, elaborately explained, fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? So he is saying, see, this is very important. He's saying you are giving impersonal Brahman, so you should be happy about it. Why are you not happy about it? He's asking. So impersonal Brahman, we will never be happy with that. Okay. Impersonal Brahman means it is just that understanding that there is some spiritual power, there is some supernatural power out there. It is not understanding Krishna. Until you understand Krishna, there is no satisfaction for us. Okay. Vyasadeva glorifies Narad Muni and asks him to help identify the root cause of his dissatisfaction. So Vyasadeva now is surrendering into Narad Muni, and first he glorifies him, and then he says, please help me, because I am not able to find the root cause of I've done everything. Why I'm not happy? Why I'm not happy? It is not easy to write Mahabharata. It is not easy to write the Vedas, right? He's done all those things, but still he's unhappy. Narad Muni now starts diagnosing the things, okay? He says no glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and importance is given to 4 Purusharthas. See, importance is given to 4 Purusharthas. What are the 4 Purusharthas? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, it is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Okay, the 4 Purusharthas are Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. See, you've given the, how to perform Dharma, how to attain Artha, how to do Kama, and how to get Moksha. You've written about those things, but there is no glorification of the Lord. The 5th Purushartha is missing. The 5th Purushartha is Bhakti. We should not aim for the 4 Purusharthas, because it will never give us the satisfaction that we are looking for. Only the 5th one will give us that, satisfaction. That bliss is enough for us, right? That is why he says, he gives 2 pointers. One is glorification of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Bhakti is not being defined. 2 categories of liberation. 2 categories of literation. Material literation. Pure devotees consider this as a pilgrimage places for crows. Okay, this is very important analogy. What he is saying is, whatever you've written in the Vedas and the Mahabharata and everything is like a pilgrimage for the crows. Okay, what does the crow do? It goes and sits on the filth and it enjoys the filth, isn't it? It doesn't look for good food. It is okay with any stale food also, it is okay, and it thinks it is Paramananda, and it eats that. Like that, the pure devotees will never enjoy what you've written. Whatever you've written, the pure devotees and transcendentalists and liberated souls will never even come near that, what you've written, because it is all low class. Whatever, in plain bland words, it is low class what you've written, and that's why you're feeling that dissatisfaction. And what is transcendental literature? Although imperfectly composed, see the difference. If you write a material book, novel or fiction or what, perfectly it is written also, it does not give you the satisfaction. It is low class. But on the other hand, transcendental literature, even though you did not compose it well, in the sense you've not used the syntax correctly, the grammar correctly, still it gives you the benefit. Still it gives you the bliss, because the subject matter that you're defining is perfect. If the subject matter is perfect, then this whatever you write also will become perfect. Where is the Adar and Praman? Ishopanishad, Krishna is defined as apahitam or something, with them. That means he's prophylactic. That means what happens is he is so pure that anything which comes in contact with Krishna will get purified. Okay, and no contamination can touch him. And that is what this transcendental literature, transcendental literature is none other than Krishna himself. Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, and the subject matter we are defining is also of Krishna and his devotees. They are all perfect. If you're defining a perfect, then even though you have imperfections defining it, it becomes perfect. That is the analogy. But the material literature is, what is it? It is a pilgrimage for crows. It is low class. How much ever you write, however well, with how much ever beautiful pictures you put it in that, it is still imperfect. Importance of Bhagavatam. Glorification of the Lord, interaction of the Lord with his devotees, and loving interaction of pure devotees with the Lord. What does Bhagavatam have? Bhagavatam actually has three things, right? It has the service and the servitor, and to whom the service is being done. So it glorifies the Lord, it glorifies the devotees, and it glorifies the process of bhakti that the pure devotees are doing with Krishna. That is a loving interaction. What is a loving interaction? It is a bhakti being performed by all the pure devotees to Krishna. These three things are defined in Bhagavatam, and that's why it gives pleasure to all. Everything is but the Lord's energy. The living entity should understand that everything is emanating from the Lord and should be used in the glorification of the Lord. Unfortunately, the living entities gets bewildered by the Lord's external energy and tries to use it for sense gratification. This is the same thing I keep repeating always. See, Krishna is all perfect. Krishna is everything. Everything is coming from Krishna. But what does a living entity do? It gets bewildered by the Shakti of Krishna. Instead of being, bewildered by Krishna and, being towards Krishna, we are more attracted to the Shakti of Krishna. Like I keep giving you the example of the golden ring that Lord is wearing. We are all attracted to the golden ring that the Lord is wearing instead of the Lord. We are all getting attracted to the sun that the Lord created instead of the Lord. Reasons of Bhagavatam being a pure or Amala Purana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Bhagavatam Amala Purana. Amala means, Mala means dirt. Amala means opposite of Mala. That is spotless. Superiority of Krishna's form over other forms. See, we learnt Ete Chakam Chamsa Kalapumsa. That shloka it is referring to. Because there are many avatars of Krishna, but Krishna is the superior of all. It establishes that. Okay, that is the Paribhasha Sutra I told you. Etecha Chamcha Amsa Kalapamsa. It is the Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavatam, and that is what the first line is saying. Superiority of Krishna's form. You should all worship Krishna. You can worship other things, other avatars also. But Krishna is a topmost. All the avatars come below him because all avatars are coming from him. Right? It establishes that. Okay. The second thing is Krishna's leelas are far, far better than the other leelas because it has the potency to deliver you from this world. All others also have. It will take away the papa, it will give you some benediction. But Krishna's leela has the potency to give you mukti. A Mukti Pradata, Mukunda only can give you Mukti. Nobody else can give you Mukti. All of the others can give you some comfort, some Shakti of theirs they can give you. But Krishna alone can give you Mukti. Nobody else can give you Mukti. Superiority of Krishna's Bhakti over other methods. Other methods are subsidiary, smaller things compared to Krishna's Bhakti. Krishna's Bhakti is a topmost. If anybody is doing Krishna's Bhakti, that means they have done all the other Bhaktis. Because of the Sukriti of other Bhaktis, they are in this stage. If you are in 12th grade, you should have passed all the grades to come to 12th grade. It is not like you come to 12th grade and then you go to first grade or second grade. No. And you can't go to 12th grade without completing first and second. All the other bhakti process are like first grade, second grade. Taking that report card only, you can go to 12th grade. That is Krishna's bhakti. Okay. Then next. Narad Muni reveals to Vyasadeva the importance of describing Krishna's pastime. Original Vedanta is dissatisfying. Okay, original Vedas is not so good. Why? Because it doesn't describe Krishna completely. That's why he's saying misunderstanding of priorities. Instead of glorifying the Lord, what is it glorifying? It is glorifying the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. The Vedantas are actually glorifying the process of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And it is indirectly glorifying the Lord, but it is very difficult to understand that indirect glorification with our Mandasumanda Buddhi. So we can only understand Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which is lower in priority. Our priority should be Krishna, not Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And it glorifies. Veda glorifies Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Not repeatedly emphasizing the Bhakti Marga as a goal of perfection of life. It says, you do over liberation. See, Bhakti is beyond liberation also. That we have to understand. We think when we are struggling in life, Krishna, give me mukti, we'll ask. We think, liberation is great. Liberation is still lower than bhakti. Okay. There is a famous pastime of Rupa Goswami, where Rupa Goswami is actually saying in one of the prayers that, Mukti comes standing at my doorstep as a maid servant. And I tell her, why did you come? Why are you distracting me? Don't come near me. Because mukti is very short, it falls short in front of bhakti, and it is a byproduct. Mukti, you'll anyway get it, you don't need that. Okay, after getting mukti, what will you do? There is nothing to be done. Bhakti is important. Whether you're in this world, whether you're in Apavarga, right? Whether you're in the hellish conditions, whether you're in this Bhumi, or you're in the higher planetary systems, or in Vaikunta, or in Goloka, what is important? Bhakti is important for us. Having that interaction, loving interaction with Krishna is important for us. Nothing else matters, right? That is what it says. Puranas are devoid of glorification of the Lord, although it depicts moral standards. It will bring you to a standard of doing goodness, not even Vishuddha Sattva. It will bring you into the standard of goodness, mode of goodness, which is a starting point of bhakti. It will bring you to that level. But why do we have to spend time coming to that level? If we take up bhakti, automatically we will become good. So why we need another process to become that? Why waste our one lifetime for becoming good? When you do bhakti, automatically it will all happen. Bhakti is important. Chapter 13, verse Bhagavad Gita 13.8 to 13.20. Krishna gives all the good qualities of a devotee, and finally he says all this quality will come to a person who does bhakti. Right? Ananya Bhak. He says one who does bhajate Ananya Bhak, he says. One who does undeviated bhakti to Krishna, all these 20 qualities, 19 qualities a devotee has to have will automatically manifest in that person. So we don't have to strive for becoming good, being honest. We don't have to strive. That is what moral stories it gives you. Hey, you shouldn't lie. Hey, you shouldn't do thievery. All that no need. Just do bhakti to Krishna. All that will come. It will keep manifesting in you automatically. That is what it is. Don't waste your lifetime on this. Devotional service is the only true asset which is worthy of describing. This is so important. Underline this. Bhakti is the only important thing. Nothing else is a priority of life, including our relationships, including our finances, including our position, including our deha also. If you have some disease also, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do bhakti to Krishna. Krishna will take care, right? Anything material will only cause reaction and agitation of the mind. Material success will only cause more agitation. Why am I saying that? See, as soon as you have material opulence and everything, you'll think of how do I safeguard? How do I make sure only I have it? How do I have a continuous flow of this? I don't want anybody it to stop. or somebody, robbing it from me. Only agitation, right? And once you have it, you want more. Two things happen. The minute you have it, you want to keep it constantly you should maintain it, and you should increase it. Both are agitation only, isn't it? There is a beautiful story, right? And where a poor person is always happy, is always in bliss, and opposite to his house only there is a big multimillionaire, and that multimillionaire is always agitated. He has bodyguards everywhere, he has locker, he's kept all the money in the locker. He still cannot sleep in the night. But that poor person is happily sleeping. At 9 o'clock he switches off the light and he sleeps. This person gets very he gets puzzled. How come I earned so much, I'm not able to sleep, and this person is sleeping? Then what he does, he goes and keeps 99 gold coins in his house. Next day that person stops sleeping. The lamp is always burning throughout the night. Why? Because this poor person is trying to safeguard that 99 gold coins. In the night, if he switches off the light, if somebody robs it, the following day he sleeps again. Then this rich person gets puzzled. How come again he is sleeping? What happened to him? Then when he goes and asks, that poor person will say, yeah, when that 99 gold coins was there, it was very difficult for me, so I went and gave it away. Now I'm able to sleep. That is the problem. I'm not saying we should give up. The little bit of thing is required for us to sustain in bhakti. Also little bit is required, but if you concentrate on that, it is a cause for agitation. Living entities are inclined to enjoying in the name of religion. You have given them permission to enjoy. See, this is very important. In the Vedas, it gives you avenues how to enjoy better. First of all, these living entities want to enjoy and do sense gratification. You poured more ghee and oil to that fire of enjoyment by giving the Vedas. Because the Vedas will tell, from morning you do this yagna, and then in 48 days you'll get all the gold of this world. Then you will do that yagna, and then you'll get money. Money will do what? It will cause more agitation, right? Then they'll say, do this, something else will happen. Then you will get that will cause more. Because the minute we get engaged with the sense objects, the senses get engaged with the sense objects, it is a cause of misery. But when the senses get engaged with bhakti, it gets purified, it feels happy. The same sense object, the object is the same, but how you enjoy that object differs. If you enjoy it after offering to Krishna, then it is bliss. But if you try to go directly, don't draw a line directly from your senses to the sense objects. Go through Krishna. Draw a line from you to Krishna to that sense objects, you're okay. But if you draw a line directly from the senses to the sense objects, there's only misery from that. Because we don't know, and it will cause karma bandhana for us. Condemns karma and gnana without devotion. It actually recommends karma marg and gnana marg. It doesn't talk about bhakti, and that's why it is bad. Progress in bhakti is credited forever. No prior qualification is required, no rebirth in material world, and endeavor to revive eternal relationship with the Lord. See, this bhakti is so sublime that there is no qualification or criteria. A small child can do bhakti, women can do bhakti, old people can do bhakti, animals can do bhakti. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas, you will see even dog got delivered, right? A dog got delivered, and many of the wild animals got delivered, because all are part and parcel of Krishna. They're all living entities. You don't think, "Arey, dog." We were also dogs only. Some Janma, we were also dogs only. We came from there only because of mercy of our devotee. So this one is forever. See, sometimes we will think, when we are buying something for our home, right? We will think of the durability of that, isn't it? How many years can I use it? Imagine this, what we are doing bhakti, it comes with us to the next Janma also. Who will come with you? Will your assets come? Will your cars come? Will your wife come? Will your husband come? Will your children come? When the death comes knocking at your door, who is going to come? Only this is going to come with you. Nothing else will come with you. So that is what he is saying, that it is, and there is no qualification required. It is not that you pass these exams, you do all these tapasya, you do so many austerities, only then bhakti will be bestowed on you. No. Bhakti is given freely to everyone and it is open to all. Everybody can do bhakti, right? And it is free. See, the problem is it is free. If we tell, okay, if you give 100 rupees, monthly 100 rupees you give, then your bhakti will sustain. Many people will come. You know why? Because what is coming free, nobody believes that. So here Narad Muni is saying this is free of cost and there is no qualification required. So So he says, describe the glories of the Lord, which is transcendental knowledge. Don't describe anything else, just describe the transcendental knowledge. Let's see how much we can do. I will quickly wrap this up. Prabhu, is it okay if I continue another 10-15 minutes?
We have time, Mathaji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mathaji, we have time. So it's just 6:57 now.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So now he's going to, yes, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So now he is going to start. How is he going to inspire? He is going to inspire who? Narad Muni is going to inspire our Vyasadev by his own life. How bhakti changed his life, he is going to inspire. This is a beautiful story. It's a story form and it'll be very interesting. Let's quickly go through that. So he says, I was born as an insignificant son of a maid servant. Actually, there is a praman elsewhere that Narad Muni was actually a Gandharva to begin with. And when he was singing songs, Gandharva, he used to sing very good songs. And he was called once to sing a song to glorify the Lord. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that he sang Bollywood songs. Instead of singing the Hare Krishna songs, he sang the Bollywood songs. All the Rishimunis, I don't know which Rishimuni gave him that curse, that he had to be born as the son of a maid servant and in Bhuloka. And that's how he ended up being the son of a maid servant. Okay. Then what happened? Once during Chaturmas time, the 4 months of the rainy season, some exalted Vaishnavas came to the Brahmana school where my mother was living. Because she was attending to their needs, I also got the opportunity to render personal service unto them. So the same Chaturmas is a time when it rains heavily. And that's why all these munis and exalted Vaishnavas, what they do is they go from one place to another place preaching, right? They keep preaching people. But during Chaturmas, because it is rainy season, they cannot move. Those days they used to move by foot. And it would be very difficult for them to travel through foot during Chaturmas. And they stay wherever they are, they stay there. Here, they stayed in that Brahmana school. There was a school in which the Narad Muni's mother was working, and they end up staying in that school. When they are in that school, actually what happened is the mother was serving them. When she was serving them, the child follows the mother. See, there are many lessons here. One lesson is, see, the exalted Vaishnavas, they don't differentiate between maid servant and other people. They were able to take service from her. They gave her that mercy to serve them. And here the child, look at children, they follow the parents, right? When a mother is cooking, if you're making boga every day to Krishna, right? A child is always hungry. And if the child is hungry, and the mother has not put the boga, what will the child do? It will go and get tulsi leaves, it will go get water, it will help the mother so that quickly the boga can be put, quickly the child can eat, isn't it? So from there only that culture, further in life, right, the child cannot eat non-prasadam. If you practice that way at home, the child will never be able to eat non-prasadam. So that is another lesson we have to take away, that the child followed the mother here. Being a mother was serving the Vaishnavas, it also started serving the Vaishnavas. Although impartial by nature, see, I told you, although impartial by nature, they were impartial. They blessed me with their causeless mercy, because even though I was only a small boy, one is he is a maid servant son, the status quo. Second is he is a child. They didn't think of any of those things. I was just telling you, bhakti has no boundaries, it has no qualification, it does not require any prerequisites. This is the evidence. I was self controlled, I did not speak more than required, I was not naughty, not interested in childish play. See, this is the other thing that I was saying. The Atma sometimes has gone through many janmas, it has purified. Some children are not very naughty, they're very focused on certain things. That is all coming from previous vasanas. Here, Narad Muni is saying, I didn't want to go out and play. See, that age children want to go out and play. What are you saying, sir, Vaishnavas and all? I don't want to do. That is the age he is in, but still he did not do that. That is because of his previous janma. The soul is purified already and eligible for bhakti. Once with their permission, I took the remnants of their food, and as a result, all of my sins were eradicated. The essence of taking the Mahaprasadam, right? This is the essence. See, at home sometimes we think, Arey, we're putting in front of Krishna and eating. Is it really? It is actually, it is Mahaprasadam. Krishna tastes, and especially in the temples where Guru Maharaj tastes, and then you get that, right? That is Mahaprasadam. We should honor that because that will take away. See, many yagnas you can do, but the sins will not be washed out. Many danas you can give. The sins will not be washed out so easily. Here it will immediately eradicate. That just touch one grain, that is enough. Mahaprasadam, all your sins will be wiped out. Because of this, and due to serving the great devotees, such great souls, the life of devotional service to the Lord became very attractive to me. This is very important. See, Antagata Papam, Bhagavad Gita 7:16, I think, it talks about this. Antagata Papam, right? What is Antagata Papam? It says Janma Karmana. Once our sins are wiped out, right, from our life, bhakti begins from there. It is very difficult for anybody to get into bhakti because their sins have not been eradicated. Not all sins will be eradicated. You should come to certain purification level, only then you can start bhakti. That is what he is also saying. The minute he took Mahaprasadam, what happened is his sins got eradicated. Immediately he got attracted to bhakti. Right? That shloka really explains that Antagata Papam. So he says, a devotional life started for him because he took the Mahaprasadam and he took the instructions from them. In their association, I heard narrations of Lord Krishna's transcendentally attractive pastimes. By such regular and attentive hearing, my taste for such topics increased at every step. So hearing, Shravanam, is the beginning of bhakti. The more you hear, like the prasadam, it purifies your conscience. See, I said Antagata Papam, that has different ways to be done. One is taking the prasadam. Two is hearing from pure devotees. You have to hear more. And then you have to contemplate on the pastimes of the Lord. Right? You are remembering the pastimes of the Lord. All these, even remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, or remembering the flute of the Lord, all this will take away your papa. We are doing, see, you may ask why I'm not fully gone, if all papa is not taken away. Because as we are, reducing our papa, we are doing papa also. We have to continue this process. Over a period of time, it will go away. Like a pot filled with mud water, keep it under the tap. 2 minutes later, it won't be gone. 30 minutes, 1 hour it requires for all the dirty water to go. In the same way, we have to continue in this path without deviation. Continue. One day, everything will be purified. So hearing is very important. When this transcendental taste became very strong, my attention became fully fixed on hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As a result, the mode of passion and ignorance vanished from my heart. I realized myself to be different from the gross and subtle body. So that is the first step of self-realization. At least theoretically, we are knowing here, Narad Muni is realizing that. He has an experience of that. Why? Only two things he did. Hearing eating prasadam. This is what we keep telling over and over again. Now it is the same thing again repeated. I loved those pure devotees greatly. With great gentle behavior, I strictly followed their instructions. Following the instructions of a guru is very important. When they were about to depart, they instructed me in Bhakti Yoga, the art of using everything in the service of the Lord to ultimately return back home, back to God. This is the same thing I was talking about. Senses to the sense objects, remove that line and go through Krishna. Everything should go through Krishna when you start using it. Then you will be able to return back to Godhead. The minute you engage your senses in sense gratification, then your path also will go that side. Instead of going up, it will go that side. You go directly to senses, it will go downwards. Okay. By Lord Krishna's mercy, I gradually became endowed first with transcendental knowledge of the Lord and devotional service. See, because, see, one is the mercy of a guru. When Guru has his mercy, Krishna will also automatically show the mercy. That is what it is saying. One day, this is also mercy of the Lord. Okay, it is very difficult to understand, but it is mercy of the Lord. One day, while going out to milk a cow, my mother was bitten by a serpent and she died. I took this as a Lord's special mercy. At the age, a very young age, how can you think that, you know, the only resort you have in this world is your mother? And you know, you have no relation, you have no friends, and this is a huge, big world. In that world, when the mother is gone, look at the maturity of Narad Muni. He's such an elevated devotee. You can understand even that in age, because he thinks that, see, he has the pain of losing the mother. But again, he says, oh Krishna, without you, nothing can happen, without your approval, right? Everything comes from your approval only. And he says it is a mercy of Krishna. Even though I had no experience of foreign lands, I immediately left home and started for the north. He started wandering. After passing numerous cities, towns, villages, farms, forests, mountains, and valleys, I entered densely dark jungle with snakes, owls, and jackals. Sometimes we are very scared for our children's well-being, right? It is good to do that, but overly being concerned is not good. Who is saving the small child in this world? Who's going through those thick forests? Who's going through those snakes and owls? Nothing, nothing is happening. See, when Krishna protects, Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke, right? If Krishna desires to keep you alive, no matter what, you will be alive. If Krishna plans to take your life away, nobody can save you, right? That is the essence. So we have to completely depend on Krishna. There is no other resource, no other resort for us, only Krishna, right? Since I had become very thirsty and fatigued, I drank the water and bathed to refresh myself. He drinks the little bit of water. Then I sat down in the shades of a great banyan tree and began meditating upon the Supreme Soul within, as I had learned from the spiritual masters. He is chanting. For us, this is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As soon as I concentrated my mind on the lotus feet of the Lord, it became transformed due to the transcendental love. As tears fell from my eyes, Lord Krishna appeared on the lotus of my heart. This is so beautiful, isn't it? He started having a vision of the Lord. He had an encounter with the Lord. All my senses became spiritually enlivened, and very soon Lord vanished from my sight. It was just a fraction of a second that he was able to see the Lord. Vision of the Lord's form provides one with deep satisfaction that is beyond description. This is the bliss, the Paramatma, the Bhagavan realization. This is the bliss, right? This bliss is amazing. That is what he is saying. And then what happened? Thus, when the Lord vanished from my sight, I jumped up with great agitation. Despite my efforts to capture him with my meditation, I could not do so. He tried to again go back and start meditating, but that vision went away. Upon seeing my distress, upon seeing my sincere attempts in that lonely place, the Lord, while remaining invisible, spoke to me with a grave voice just to mitigate my sorrow. He was so much in pain because he wanted to see the Lord one more time, but he is not able to see. He's trying to say, how did I chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Did I chant loudly, softly? He's trying everything. and he's in deep sorrow because he's not able to see the Lord again. And the Lord, out of his causeless mercy, speaks to him. He says, "O Narada, I regret to inform you that you will not be able to see me again during this lifetime. In this lifetime, you will not see me. You finish off, you continue to do bhakti." That is what he's going to instruct him, because one who is not complete in services and freed from all material contamination can hardly approach me. You cannot approach the Lord having these contamination, and you have to purify yourself. You have to perfect yourself. So continue in this path. Finally, you will be able to reach me. I gave you this vision just to motivate you. Here he says, as a special favor, I have shown myself to you. Isn't it beautiful? Krishna is so merciful. Just to increase your desire to come to me. This is a motivation from the Lord to Narad Muni. By my mercy, you will always remember me. No matter what, Narada, you will always remember me. He's still not Narada, but he says, you'll always remember me, and continue making advancement in Krishna consciousness, even at the creation, at the time of creation or annihilation. That means even when you give up your body, continue to meditate upon me, right? And that is what his instruction is. And annihilation, even when that yuga completes, that kalpa completes, devastation happens, continue, and you will definitely come back to me. That is a promise the Lord makes. Thus, fully absorbed in thinking of Lord Krishna, in due course of time, I was freed from all material attachments. I met with death. That is a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing that can happen to anybody, because he's perfected his bhakti. At that time, if you meet death, there is no greater pleasure. The same thing happened to Srinivas Thakur. What happened is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do Sankirtan in Srinivas Thakur's Angan, the patio at the front yard. That is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do kirtans. Sankirtans. At that time, what happened is one day Srinivas Thakur's son died. When he died, Mahaprabhu was actually performing kirtan and the son died. All the women and the wife of Srinivas Thakur started loudly crying. Immediately, Srinivas Thakur enters the room and he says, "Don't cry. This is the best death my son is having." While Mahaprabhu himself is doing kirtan, hearing to that kirtan, he gave up his body. That is the perfection of death, right? That is the art of dying. That's the perfection of death. It is the most, honorable death. Not everybody will have that luck. He's very lucky. Actually, we should celebrate this. We should not mourn for this, he says. That is what I got reminded, that, perfection is when you meet your death, if you are perfected, this dying, you have to die anyway. You have to die. There is no option. But even perfecting death is a greatness, isn't it? That is what he is saying. Then what happened? Instantly, I received a transcendental form as Narada. Since then, by the grace of Lord Vishnu, I've been traveling everywhere, both in spiritual and material worlds, singing on Veena glories of the Lord. See, the death happened, and as soon as the Atma came out, it transformed into Narad Muni, because he had done. This is the last part. This is final instructions. This is very beautiful. I'll just quickly read through this. It's the final instructions from Narad Muni to Vyasadeva. Narad Muni, best remedial measures for removing all troubles and miseries is to dedicate one's activities to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means everything should be done for Krishna. See, there is no option. This world is full of misery. No matter how much you adjust, it will not let go of you. It will always haunt you. So why not do it for Krishna? Do everything for Krishna. That will automatically deliver you. Thus, when all of man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. See, the work, when you do a work, right, it causes bondage, right? It causes anchors. But that same work done to Krishna will cut those bondages. It will act like a cutting source. It will cut all the bondages. That's what it means. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga. What whatever you do for the pleasure of Krishna is bhakti. Bhakti is very simple, right? Krishnanushilanam bhakti ruchyate. Krishnanushilanam, that means doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna is bhakti. While performing duties according to the order of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one constantly remembers him, his names and his qualities. That means, how do you perform bhakti? By just thinking of the Lord constantly, his names and his qualities, you will be delivered. You are actually performing the right thing. Whatever is expected out of you, you are doing that. Constantly chanting the glories of the Lord. Whatever we are doing in this class, right? Or every time we discuss the Bhagavad Gita shlokas or Bhagavatam, we are glorifying the Lord. It is non-different. Bhagavatam is non-different from the Lord. Bhagavad Gita is the love song of the Lord. So every time there is glorification of the Lord. Our present senses are all made up of material elements, and therefore they all are imperfect in realizing the transcendental form of the Lord. Because our senses are all material, we cannot perceive that spiritual form of the Lord. How can we then see it? By making this spiritualized. He is therefore worshipped by the sound representation via the transcendental method of chanting. So because the senses, the eyes cannot see him, I cannot smell him, all this is material. The Shabda Praman is the best. That Shabda is perfect by in itself. There is no contamination in that Shabda. So by chanting, we will be able to see the Lord. O Brahmana, thus by the Supreme Lord Krishna, I was endowed first with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord as inculcated in the confidential parts of the Vedas. See, confidential parts of the Vedas, it is there, it is hidden, it is very difficult to understand, and only a guru can tell you that. Instead, come into bhakti, it will automatically be revealed to you. Then with the spiritual opulence, and then with his intimate loving service. So first of all, Krishna, first a guru blessed, showed the mercy. The exalted Vaishnava showed the mercy to Narad Muni as a child, and then Krishna himself gave him that transcendental knowledge by appearing as in the heart of in the lotus heart of the Narad Muni. That's how he gave him the knowledge of how to perform bhakti, right? And he revealed the confidential parts of the Vedas to him, right? This is also there in Bhagavad Gita. It is Gnanadipena 10.9, I think 10.9. That is Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tamaham Upayantite. Krishna will actually give you the Buddhi Yoga 10.9, and elsewhere I think in 12 or 13 he says Gnanadipena. What is the benediction Krishna gives? If you to perform bhakti, that Gnanadipa, he will light that lamp to ward away all the ignorance from your heart. Please therefore describe the ultimate Almighty Lord's activities which you have learned by your vast knowledge of the Vedas. You know the Vedas so well, but why did you give the top layer of the Vedas to enjoy? Go deeper. You have a deeper knowledge, and that deeper knowledge is Krishna. See, if Veda is a tree, if you're plucking the fruits on the top and the leaves on the top, no use. Go deeper to the root. Root is Krishna, right? Understanding that is important. And why don't you give that root to everybody? You give the essence of the Vedas. The essence of the Vedas is Krishna. Vedescha Sarvai Ahameva Vedyam, 15.15 Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, I am the Veda. Why does he say that? Because he is the essence of the Vedas. For that will satisfy the anchorings of great learned men, and at the same time, see, great learned men will not be satisfied by small things. They will be satisfied only by greater things, and this is the greatest thing. So why don't you give that? And this will mitigate the miseries of the masses of common people who are always suffering from material pangs. Indeed, there is no other way to get out of such miseries. See, whatever you give, the top layer, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, it is transformation of the misery. You're having misery, you'll get another type of misery later. It is completely not eradicated. So if you go to the root of the Vedas, which is Krishna, that will eradicate miseries, it will uproot, right? Even in Bhagavatam it says that, immediately if you get engaged with Bhagavatam, immediately it will uproot. That was a starting point also. Naradji told to Vyasadev, this will uproot the miseries out of your life. And third shloka in Bhagavatam 1.1.3 talks about the same. Kaitava dharma. Don't give this Kaitava dharma. Uproot this miseries by giving them the truth, the ultimate truth. Don't hide the truth, give them that ultimate truth. And that is what even Narad Muni told Vyasadeva here, right? He says, give them the best thing which will eradicate all the miseries once and for all. Let them eradicate that misery from once and for all and feel that satisfaction and bliss, eternal satisfaction of bliss, that kind. And you know it. You know the essence of the Vedas. You are the right person to give. And with your history as being the son of Parasara Muni, you have all the qualifications to do it. Why don't you do it? Do that kind of a welfare for the people. That's what he said. Right? That is the instruction of Narad Muni to Vyasadeva by his own life history. And finally, summarizing the instructions, he instigated or he kind of encouraged Vyasadeva to write Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the Amala Purana. With that, I will end